The loop turner is, this one is approximately 10.5 inches long, and it's for making these small spaghetti straps, or they might be pull strings for a like a drawstring bag or something. First thing you want to do, and it says here on the back of the packaging, is you want to cut your fabric on the bias. This is the way my mom explained to me that you find the bias. The bias is basically the most stretchy part of the fabric. Most fabrics have some sort of stretch, even if they don't stretch a lot this way. And this would be the side, this would be with the selvages. You see there's some stretch there. And this would be going vertical, and there's not really a lot of stretch here. I can pull it, but I'm not going to get a lot of stretch out of it. This is a fold here, in case you guys ask, and this is the open part. But the bias, if you see it a diagonal when you stretch it, it's really stretchy, like super stretchy. It even has a little bit of trouble going back into place when you pull it too hard. But that's where you want to cut these straps, because you want them to stretch, especially if you're making spaghetti straps for a top or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut about a 1.5 inch strip at a diagonal. Basically is what you're doing. You know, when you buy fabric, you have it folded with selvages. This is a selvage, but this isn't a whole piece of fabric. I'd cut some off, but I know where it is because it still has the selvage on it. So you'll get the selvages, and that's kind of folded like this in a book fold. And then I'm just gonna, I opened up the fabric and I'm gonna cut it on the diagonal, and I want about 1.5 inches because I want a fairly small spaghetti strap, kind of like this one I've already done. And it recommends, I think here it even tells you, you want to cut twice the size you want to end up with at when everything's turned and finished, plus 1/2 inch for seam allowance. That would be a 1/4 inch seam allowance. If you want more of a seam allowance, then of course you would do the seam allowance doubled, because you're folding the fabric over. So you see, of course, if you're making something, you're going to measure out the length you need plus about 1 inch or 1/2 inch. I would do 1 inch just to, you know, be sure that in case the fabric tears a little too much, you'll have plenty to cut off there. And then basically what you want to do is you're going to fold it over. Okay, so here we have our strap. It is sewn down one side. Now, it recommends that you trim the seam, you trim the selvage of the seam, just so it doesn't get bunched up in there when you turn it. Want to trim it to about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so now what I want to do is I just want to feed this through. You can see that little hook there on the end, on the side where the fold of the fabric is, not where you stitched. You want to just kind of, yeah, it's kind of tricky, and it'll drive you nuts. So you want to push it through there. You see what I just did? Just want to push it through, and then you want to take your time and work the fabric over that hook. So there you go. That is the strap turned using the loop turner. Because I usually will either, if it's a wider strap or whatever, I'll use a dowel and push it through. If it's a little more narrow, I use a safety pin and some ribbon, really strong ribbon or twine. And of all the methods that I have tried, I hate this one the most. I tore the fabric several times. I had to do several takes on this. It actually might be the material, because this one that I did off camera for kind of practice did way better. I didn't tear it. It's just, it kept tearing. I kept having to cut the camera off and turn it back inside out and cut the torn piece off. And I don't know what it was. I mean, I followed the instructions on the packaging and I did it the same way I did the orange one here. But I just don't like this method. It takes forever. It's tedious. If you use a small safety pin and a strong ribbon or twine, you're going to have this done in seconds. This, you'll probably see this in a little 3.5 minute video, but this, actually turning this one strap took me about 20 minutes. I mean, why change what works for you? If using one of these works for you, then by all means. I mean, it's really inexpensive. So still, my all-time favorite method is a safety pin and a string. And I hate this thing. I'm going to put it back in the packaging and put it up because you won't see me using it for a long time. I don't know what I'll do with it. But anyway, that's my little demonstration of how to use a loop turner and my little review of it. Don't like it, hate it, won't use it again. Peace, y'all. Bye-bye.